On a bad day, I'll have 4 or 5, half a dozen children to see, and there'll be constant interruptions, and I get very little teaching done. And also sometimes the children are very ill, and you just have to be sensitive to that. On a good day, there are fewer interruptions, and the children are happy to see you. I further their education a little bit. I'll get some positive feedback.
I think the biggest difference is that we don't know who our class is going to be, and we often don't know who we're going to teach, sometimes from 1 minute to the next.
Try to just retain a sense of normality, because everything else that's happened with that child is probably not very normal and very, very difficult for that child. So in trying to retain that normality, we introduce schooling.
I'm Reno, the teacher, trying to be. This is my lovely assistant from America, Tiffany. And hopefully, if we have enough time, we'll do the apple tart, which some of you have probably already done. One of the main things is that you have to be very flexible, because the situation changes every day, every moment almost. In any one day, I might have 5 or 6 different children, ranging from 4 years of age to 15, with all sorts of complications. So you have to be able to change from teaching maths to art to science, whatever. So, what do we need to do next? Add the egg, salt and sufficient water. So no salt, just egg and sufficient water.
Got sick when I was 7, so I started coming up here, and I've been here 8 years. And coming down to school, it's really cool, because you get to see other patients and you get to do cool stuff.
This is the size of the dish. Spread them out in here if you want.
They do leisure and tourism with me, and maths and English and science and cooking, and basically everything.
The main reason they can achieve quite a lot while they're in here is they do get the one-to-one. So in an hour or 2 hours with us, they're going to get more than they get in a whole week or 2 weeks in mainstream school. So we try and pinpoint their problems and try and overcome those. And so that's why they do make progress. Right. The next stage is, if I can find that thing, is just to sprinkle a bit of sugar and cinnamon onto your fruit, and then we're going to bake it for about 10 or 15 minutes.
The need for a school was established by a very forward-thinking sister in 1951. Before that, there were just almoners and social workers, but it was funded by the ILEA, as it was then, with one lone teacher and a little basket. The staffing now is up to 33 employees. Clearly, one of the aims is to prevent children slipping behind when they're hospitalised. And as much as possible, we will try to deliver the national curriculum, which is the entitlement of all the children.
Sean's design brief was to create a sweet packaging design project. So what's the point of doing that with the S?
It looks like a bomb's exploding inside it.
Oh, it's exploding.
Yeah.
We are accountable to our governing body. We do have an Ofsted like all other schools, and the paperwork and the record keeping is just as onerous. Different because we're also adding in all the pastoral and psychosocial and medical needs of the children.
Hi Miriam, how are you?
Everybody, this is Mary Jo. Mary is pregnant.
Yes, Miriam tells the whole world.
You must be proud.
I am very proud.
It's a girl.
Well, Miriam thinks it's a girl. I told her on her last day what it is. You have to be very creative to get round some of the physical problems of being on the ward. Working with someone like Miriam, it can be quite challenging because, of course, she can't move very much at the moment. Only when she's on her stomach she can write or read things. When she's on her back, it's very difficult. And one of the secrets, I suppose, is to try and get on their level. Fabulous. Now you write down 3 numbers in a sequence for me, and I've got to work out the next number. One of the really good things here is that they have a very sort of structured approach to goal setting. And so when Miriam first came in, we set some goals that we discussed, and that can be really good in helping the students stay motivated. If they realise now that they can keep up with what their friends are doing at school, sometimes that helps. And also, it's very boring being on the ward. If Miriam had her way, I would be there all day.
For scenes like the famous balcony scene in Romeo and Juliet.
Good.
We've just employed a fairly innovative post, pupil liaison officer, and the aim is to provide support for teachers who we were finding were having to do a lot of liaison work, which was taking them away from their main teaching work. But also, more than that, to look at the pupil's journey while they're in hospital.
What's on here? Do you know school-aged children on the ward this morning? Do we have any?
And school-aged
Yeah.
children? We do, but they're not really very well at the moment.
Okay.
sort of thing.
First thing every morning, I'll meet the nurse or the play specialist on the ward, and I'll find out who's around, which children are on the ward, which children aren't on the ward at the moment, and then from there I'll go and talk to the parents and the child.
Morning, Joe.
And we'll begin to think about putting an educational sort of programme in place, if not now, then over the coming days or weeks. How's the brace getting on, your new brace?
The new one should be coming along today.
New brace is coming today?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have to wait for the new brace before you can come down to school, yeah? With the younger ones, it's just about being a sort of the softer side of the hospital, perhaps, having a lot of different things done to them medically, and just being someone who's actually not going to do anything to them medically as well. This is some of the memory game you did, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Just because what we'll try and do is, as you haven't got your brace yet, we'll try and get someone else up to see you today. If I know what you've been doing, then I can let the teacher know who comes up, what you've done. Okay. With the older ones, there's often more of a practical side of when they leave hospital, they may not be going back to school. So I may do some research of courses, MVQ courses for them, and I do a lot of liaison with schools, with local education authorities, home nutrition services, and parents as well. Do you go to school in a big school?
No, it's very small.
Is it?
Yeah,
How many pupils?
roughly about 120, 140.
Wow, okay. I'm a bit like sort of like the liaison person, just checking with everyone that this child is still being provided for.
Remember, this is only a sketch. It's just to help you think about how you're going to do your.
What has struck me being here is a real sense of support amongst staff for each other, because we do come across some difficult situations. A child may come in the hospital tomorrow and we don't know how old they're going to be. We don't know whether they may be mainstream, they may go to special needs school. I have a lot of respect for the team because they are so adaptable to every situation they come across.
They're all beautiful sketches, I must say.
And two identical elements combined, the name of the substance. What does it say there?
Well, that one.
Yeah, number 3. Look at number 3 there, and there's your answer. It's in number 3. All the doctors here will tell you that school is part of their rehabilitation process. So, you know, it's very easy to give up and walk away and say, oh, OK, I'll leave you for today. But that's not helping them. So we all try as much as we can to push, sensitively, in a sensitive way, try and get something out of them, some sort of response. Go through that. See what's in there? Just flick through there.
Missed a bit of primary, I've missed quite a bit of secondary, but I think I'm doing all right, because I mean, only one bottom set and that's in tech, and the rest on top set, middle set. Sometimes I think they do teach better, because they help you out much more, because it's just one-on-one, ain't it? So it's much easier to do the work.
So we'll delete that and start again. Floods in Bangladesh.
On Tuesday and Thursday, I go in school in the morning, and in the afternoon I come up here and go on a machine for 4 hours, and then the teacher comes up for an hour, half an hour. It's not as hard as at home either. There's more fun things to do.
Yeah, should we call it monsoons? Excellent. So you have to spell it there.
My first transplant was about 10, 11 years ago. My second one was about 4 years ago. And I'm waiting for my third, because I'm greedy. And my teachers are quite good down there. They keep in contact with the teachers up here. They send up work and stuff. Nick told me about schools and stuff, and he helps me find all the colleges and stuff. I want to be a children's nurse.
At school, they are doing 2 film reviews, and I found out today, and the names of those films are Mean Girls, yeah? And the other one is, what is it?
Slap Her, She's French.
Slap Her, She's French. So So they're the two films they're reviewing. So Aisha's going to go on the internet on some of the film sites and look at some reviews, basically, get some information.
From the school, they sent in work with me, or they emailed Reno, so then I could do the work here. I think that's good because you don't miss a lot. So when you go back to school, you don't have to ask teachers, oh, was it here? I think I'm quite up to date.
And above all, she's unfamiliar with mean girls, known as the Plastics, at this particular school. Is that because they got all makeup and stuff?
Yeah.
The Plastics. All right. What's important with these children, even the ones that are critically ill, is that they want some normality. And that makes them feel better. So you just try and just do what they would normally be doing. And I try and sort of, I joke around with them quite a bit and sort of play up to their pranks and whatnot. But I encourage that in a way because I want them to be a bit normal and to be a bit naughty, cheeky and have a laugh and do all the things they would do in a regular school.
We try very much to remain as teachers and remain professional as teachers. We're not counsellors, we're not therapists, and it has to be very clear where that boundary is for the sake of the children. But clearly, teachers do get involved. It's impossible not to. You just have to know how to handle that professionally.
If you stop and think about it too much, it's difficult because some of these children are not going to be here in a year or 2 years or 3 years. Some even less, and some you just don't know. I've turned up sometimes and they've gone, and that happens. I don't know, there's no, I don't know how you prepare for it, you just, I think it comes down to you as an individual.
For young people that have a shortened life, sometimes school is the one thing that they want to keep doing because it's what all their friends are doing. And for some people it's a thing that keeps them going, and right up until the end they'll want to keep working. And they see it as just going on with normal daily life.
144.
Correct.
It's an amazing positive place to work. It seems a bit of a paradox, but it is a very positive place to work. I get immense satisfaction from seeing children come down to school after an operation and actually have a good time.
I've always been interested in food ever since I was little, because when I got sick, I lost my appetite completely, and I don't know why, I just became fascinated with food. I'd like to be a exotic food chef.
There's never a dull moment in an environment like this. It's always busy, there's always lots of new things to do, lots of things to learn.
Sometimes just the dynamics that happen are fantastic. 3 different teachers interacting, lots of different children. It's just seeing them involved in the work. And as a teacher, whether you're in mainstream school or here, that's really important.
We often have people coming in and saying, wow, how do you get this buzz? I think the buzz comes from the amount of planning and effort and thinking time that we put into how we're going to deliver the curriculum. It comes from the staff and their enthusiasm. And it comes from the children who are really always so keen and so pleased to get off the ward and be part of something that's just normal and everyday for them.